Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Realms of the Haunting, Blind. Now, last time I got lost in those very dark caves around here, and unfortunately there is a non-zero possibility that I will actually continue to be lost, because I've gotten somewhere, but I'm not really sure where that somewhere is. Because it all looks rather similar, and at the same time it's very dark around here. I think... I think I was here before, but it's difficult to tell. Wait, isn't this the very beginning? I have two colored crystals, which I presume are used to get somewhere, but where exactly? Okay, there's... I think this sends in a dead end. Oh.
Cartridges for a shotgun.
Okay, yet another blue crystal.
Some sort of key, perhaps.
Maybe. Maybe not. Hard to say.
Some sort of key, perhaps.
Maybe. Maybe not. Hard to say.
Some sort of key, perhaps.
Maybe. Maybe not. Hard to say.
Okay, so I have two blue crystals. I have two blue crystals and one red crystal, but I don't really know what's the use for any of them. I think this just goes back to where I just was. Yeah. Okay, this goes back here, which I don't think... I think that teleporter has to be significant somehow, so I assume using it is actually beneficial in some way, by getting me, to a different place I'm actually supposed to go. Okay, there was the crystal here, so maybe it denotes this path as being somehow significant. Although I have an ugly feeling that I might actually be going backwards. Like, I'm not entirely sure about that, but it seems to be... Okay, this is a dead end, seemingly. So is this, from the looks of it. The fact that the enemies seem to respawn does not help either. Okay, I got somewhere, so let me save. There's some kind of a creature ahead. So... who are you?
Cute little thing, isn't he?
Who stands by the bridge?
On one hand, it might not be the best thing to give demons my actual name, but on the other, I am very much not the master of this place. At least I don't think so, and I think they would know that. So let's tell them our names and hope it's not going to end in us getting horribly cursed.
I am Adam. Adam Randall, and I...
Names mean nothing to us. I ask again, who stands by the bridge?
We are those who challenge the rite of passage.
Then offer the benefaction within these hands.
I think he means give him an appropriate gift.
So that would be the stones, right?
The benefaction pleases the pact. Go. The path is open.
Okay. So that's where I'm supposed to go, right? Now, I hope the darkness is going to end. It was very annoying. Okay. That was a very resilient demon.
What's this made from? Crystal?
No, it's nothing I've come across before.
What's this made from? Crystal?
No, it's nothing I've come across before.
Okay. Okay, there are some moving platforms, so it's a platforming section, basically, which I'm not that big of a fan of in general, and especially not in first-person games, because I find it's often difficult. Yeah. It's often difficult to judge, your position exactly. At least the game doesn't kill me outright. If I fall, it just laughs at me, which in some ways it might be actually more condescending, but I do actually appreciate the fact that it doesn't kill me outright. Okay, let's save. 'Cause I think I will reload if I fall. It's a lot less obnoxious, I think, because I'm not very good at it, as you can see, and I have to jump 3 platforms, and if I fall and would not reload, would have to start from the very beginning. So basically make 3 consecutive successful jumps, which isn't that... Okay, that did work somehow. So... great. Pitch blackness again. Just what I wanted in my life. Okay, let's heal and move forward.
There's power at work here. I can feel it. I'm not sure of the source there. Let's be careful. This place smells bad. Smells like somebody died.
You're telling me. Plenty of this rubble around.
The structure doesn't look too safe, does it?
Probably somebody did die here. Like, even the rubble itself, it looks like it might have pieces of bones in it. Okay. Was there something in its lair? Oh. I think it's a piece of armor, right?
Sense your presence. You are close. Good. You have found my breastplate. Put it on, Adam. It will fit. Though you are something less across the shoulders than I was in my prime.
What sort of protection would you give me?
It is boiled leather and plate boy. What else were you expecting? No. I only jest. It will prove sovereign against both spear and dagger. Against the ungodly, it will shield the heart and ward the soul. But heed me well. The most subtle danger you must face comes from within.
Your presence doesn't feel strong here.
That is not my presence you perceive, demoiselle, but the power of the cuirass itself.
Could it be that the evil of this place has corrupted it somehow?
Never. What you are feeling is the power that the cuirass has accumulated over the centuries.
Thank you. We can certainly use your help.
I must go now. Fare thee well.
Okay, I kind of call bullshit on the way he put it on, because you know, he was supposed to. I'm out of ammo, am I not? I am. Okay, I'm pretty much out of ammo for regular weapons. However, I think there was another potion down here. Yeah, I kind of call bullshit on what he did, because obviously, yeah, the breastplate would have had straps on the back, right? To go across your own back to fasten it on, whereas he just sort of pressed it against his own chest. But I guess it was a magic breastplate, so it doesn't really matter because it somehow fastened itself into his body. Now, what do you have to say about it?
This looks like something Alf would wear.
Perhaps there's a connection to something. I can't be any clearer than that.
Interestingly, there's no more actual dialogue about it. Can I wear the helmet? I did something.
My lord, I have taken the sight.
Save your strength. What of the stone?
It is theirs, sire. Baron Urien went down under the French horses. I saw his banner burning from the hill.
Then it is time. How stands the associates?
They're ready, my lord.
My lord, I would that it was I who took the honor of leading the assault.
Only I can lead the associates, Paladin. They're not of this place, remember? Their command is mine, and mine alone, such is the law. But you, my friend, you shall ride by my side if you so desire. Then give the word. The stone shall not be theirs. By my blood, the army rides.
Okay, I've been granted some kind of a vision from Alf's past. I cannot use it. From my understanding, I'm already using it. Okay, this is just to replace the vision, so that's kind of pointless. So I don't think I can wear it per se, although maybe I am. Like, the game is kind of murky on that. Anyway, it was probably worth checking it out, just to get that additional cutscene. Probably have meant something. Okay, anything here? Not, doesn't look like it, so... am I back in the house?
This one's stuck fast. Plenty of this rubble around.
The structure doesn't look too safe, does it?
Someone thinking of leaving?
Oh.
What the hell's all this?
I have absolutely no idea, Adam.
The mind is stronger than most would believe. Florentine... What? Okay, I guess it's a sentence. The mind is stronger than most would believe, Florentine. Whoever has written this is speaking to this Florentine person. Far stronger than the whole it is... far stronger than the whole it is. Man's mind that forms the creatures he sees around him, his thoughts, and hitherto his creation. Thoughts move like waters against the rock, like hands at the clay wheel, forging and creating the shadows that move, that the shadows they see around them, shadows of soul, the minds that are strong, whether in virtue or flaw, create these shadows. The minions of all darkness and the avatars of all that is light. These creatures are the manifestation of the mind. They are whole only by men's thoughts, and the strongest of minds will create the purest of both. So do not say that these creatures are otherworldly, for they are not. They are part of man, as he is part of them. The projections of powerful minds. Okay, so I guess what this is trying to tell me is that all of those demons I'm fighting, if I understand it correctly, the forces of darkness and the forces of light are like a projection of the conscious, of the collective unconsciousness of humanity or something. Men's minds create those creatures, and I presume the minds of evil people create the servants of darkness, and the minds of the virtuous create the servants of light. And maybe those angels that were depicted in some of the murals. Okay, this opens into pitch blackness, as does this, which I am kind of tired of at this point. So I'm very glad that the light switches do exist. Okay, nothing here, apparently. It is a little hilarious that the servants of darkness cannot operate doors correctly, so you can close them in their face. Okay, defeated one of them. Oh, there's another message.
Florentine. Again.
Must have been very fond of himself.
When was it established that that's him? I don't think I learned. I don't think I ever even heard the name Florentine before this room, and certainly I don't think it was established that he's this person.
Old suit of armor. All the pieces are wired together.
To stop it collapsing, I expect.
Okay.
Map. But to where?
Well, I don't know. Let's check. Rune guide. No. The map of Rakvia Maze. Am I currently in the maze? To be honest, it's more like the location before was the maze. Okay, this might be helpful later when I get inevitably lost.
1779. Fleur and Maison.
French.
Mademoiselle, you really amaze me sometimes.
But what even is that? Like, it's a little... Like, is it perfume? It's a little too low quality for me to even...
1779. Fleur and Maison.
French.
Mademoiselle, you really amaze me sometimes. This is exquisite. Look at the work around the glass.
I'd say it was French if it wasn't for the peculiar design.
Okay, anything to add to it?
This is exquisite. Look at the work around the glass.
I'd say it was French if it wasn't for the peculiar design.
Sketch of a sword. Like no sword I've ever seen.
Okay, let's take a look.
Sketch of a sword. Like no sword I've ever seen.
What's that smudge towards the top of the pommel?
Well, I don't know. Presumably obscuring some kind of a symbol or something some ornament on the pommel that would be relevant. However, I have to note that this sword is the same that appeared in my dream in the intro. I do remember this this symbol on the guard. And to be honest, it doesn't look particularly weird, so I'm not sure what's up with Adam's sort of insistence that it looks like no sword he's ever seen. As far as fantasy designs for weapons go, it's actually pretty tame.
This is burnt into the wall.
Burnt? You sure?
So, what part I hear you? What part I hear you say, Florentine? Do the creations you call... Oh. Okay, I kind of got startled. Do the creations you call God and Satan calculate within this equation? Both are present, but both are without. These powers are the center of this world. It would be pointless to say otherwise. These powers are the sum of the total of men's thoughts, without forms, for they are not fully conceived. They constantly germinate and die within the soul stone. They vie for the thoughts of man, and when one becomes the stronger, it will take on a form and come again into this realm. So you see, both these powers are the sum of the total of this world, and at any one time and until now have shared this place, but not for much longer. This world in which you live is becoming corrupt, and the pure thoughts of man are dwindling fast. It is the dark side of man's mind that the path is leading.
What could have burnt this onto the wall with such precision?
The road, which is even now forming the future. Two will come, Florentine. Two men. Okay. Yeah, so kind of that reiterates what I was talking about even more strongly. How all of those creatures are sort of a projection, they are the collective thoughts of mankind given physical form. And this specifically even talks about how, how virtuous people and people that are good would create servants of what some would call God, and how nowadays the balance is off because there's so much impure thought going around that it spawns all of those evil creatures. Okay, can I light the... I can, okay.
Empty closets. Empty closets. Empty closets. Planter. 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 Planter.
But wait, I don't understand. If this is supposed to be a flower pot, then how can a flower pot be French? And how can a flower be over 100 years old? Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand what this is supposed to be. I thought it was like a glass of perfume or something.
What could have burnt this onto the wall with such precision?
Their names are Soul and Hawk, Florentine. Timeless creatures who will focus the thoughts of man and make them substance through the soul stone. One is pure and without sin. The other, he is man's wickedness. These two creatures have fought for dominion for countless eternities since the soul stone fell to this world. But it is mere within and above this place that the final battle will be fought. The battle that will dictate the eternal future of all mankind, who will win, I cannot say, but the strongest will be the reflection of men's thoughts at this juncture. They are coming, Florentine. They are coming to this place. The seals that you have broken, that once hid the soul stone, have awakened them and alerted them to the stone. You have brought the last battle too soon, Florentine, and the universal balance has been shifted. Upon upon the sour winds they come, Gaul and Hawk. The final battle, Florentine, you're a fool. Okay. What's up with that?
Doesn't appear to be working.
Full of dead rats as well. Which I do believe might kind of signify something. Okay. I think this is one of the last rooms I have not explored, so let's do just that.
Someone thinking of leaving?
Okay, seemingly there is nothing in this room. Which in itself is a bit weird because it's a pretty large room. But okay. Okay, have I been here? I don't think so. Okay.
That light's gonna drive me crazy.
Yeah, it might. Might actually drive the player crazy as well. There is such a possibility. Okay, anything useful? Okay, seemingly nothing in this room. So let's just move on and hope that the next one doesn't cause epilepsy to the same degree. I'm really rather tired of the overly dark environments. Because it's not like I can even admire the craft of the designers of this game, because I can barely see anything. Like, you know, I actually kind of liked the parts in the house. I do think the house is rather atmospheric in terms of its design, but this I kind of call bullshit on that. Like, I really think
It's got some.
Yes, it's
I really think it's a bit pointless and kind of annoying. Okay.
Solar system. Venus marked for some reason. Most like Earth of all planets.
Venus. Yes, the morning star. It's another name for Venus.
Is it? I don't think I knew that.
1779. Fleur and Maison.
French.
Mademoiselle, you really amaze me sometimes. 1779.
French.
Mademoiselle, you really amaze me sometimes.
Okay, I can get how a telescope might be of French, you know, French made and an antique piece, but that thing on the windowsill was definitely like a flower pot. It definitely wasn't a telescope, is what I'm trying to say. So, overall, I am a bit confused.
Solar system. Venus marked for some reason. Most like Earth of all planets.
Venus. Yes, the morning star. It's another name for Venus.
Solar system.
Venus.
Sketch of somewhere.
Okay, let's take a look.
Sketch of somewhere.
Someplace we've not yet come across.
This kind of looks like an explosion or an island. To be honest, this tells me nothing. Although, that is a symbol for Venus, right? Because Venus is associated with the feminine. So the symbol for Venus is the same as, you know, the symbol for femininity at large. So that's potentially kind of significant in some way.
Solar system. Venus marked for some reason. Most like Earth of all planets.
Also known as the morning star, the planet that marks Lucifer in the sky.
So associated with Satan, you say? But wait. First of all, if this is supposed to be Venus, then where is Mercury? And why is Venus so large on this sketch compared to the other planets of the solar system? No, wait. It's the other way around. This is the Sun. So then Mercury... I guess this would be Venus then? Or... wait, but then this would be Earth, which... I don't think is right in terms of size. Well, regardless, I don't think I can do very much with this at the moment, so let's just continue. A book of some sorts.
Wow. This looks like serious stuff. Journal. Leather bound and embossed.
What's the design on the cover? Embossed with the initial F.
There's something sticking out of the pages. Nicely worked silver key.
Okay, so this is probably Florentine's journal? Anything to say about it?
I have a feeling this book holds the answer to quite a few questions.
No doubt. Let's go through it thoroughly and systematically, okay?
Okay, I should probably read it first and then hear the characters discuss it. Obviously seems to make the most sense. However, something has dawned on me Because it is marked here, right? Discuss the Temple of the Morning Star. The Temple of the Morning Star is the cult that I think my father was part of, but it has now dawned on me, is it a satanic cult? Like, did they literally worship Lucifer? Because obviously the Morning Star is one of the monikers used to describe Lucifer, because Lucifer was the light bringer, right? And his one of his names was the Morning Star. So that's kind of potentially interesting, but as I said, it's probably the best if I read the journal myself first, and then hear the characters discuss it. So, Claude... wait, Claude Florentine. Does it say Florentine? I can't read the beginning, but it definitely ends with Entine, so I assumed. And I guess that would be corresponding with the CF from the letters. So Claude Florentine was the friend of Adam's father, right? They were exchanging letters for some time before my father stopped responding. So, entry of the morning of the 15th of January, 1330 AD. 1330, really? In reality, I shouldn't even be able to read that, because the English in in 1330 would have been written down differently enough that I probably would have serious problems, or would even be impossible for me to understand. But anyway, the Temple of the Morning Star. No fewer than 22 acolytes have entered the tower since our efforts began 2 weeks ago, with only one returning in the intertwining time. This man, Thomas, swore that he had met with someone within the tower with the name, who named himself the gardener. Thomas swore to the powers that this gardener aided him in his escape only moments before the gibbering madness of something fell upon him. I can't read that. Unfortunately, this experience has adverse effect on the man, who has relapsed into cerebral state of withdrawal. His body could be used to the state with could be used to sate the hunger of the powers if he proves to be of no further use to us. Goats and poultry can be expensive and sometimes ineffectual. Oh, so they are talking about human sacrifice, and it's interesting that they say goats and poultry might be expensive, but apparently human sacrifice comes cheap to them. Of the testimony of Thomas concerning the existence of this gardener, I must say that I am skeptical. Whether what he saw was a figment of... Whether what he saw was the figment of truth, I cannot say, but Belial reliably informs us that the last of the gardeners perished in the battle of the stone. No, in the fall of the stone. I must take his word as truth. Okay. And Claude Florentine, entry of the afternoon of 17th of January, 1330 AD. Following our own initial experiment, it is clear to me that the magical means should be employed for safety. After many long hours of reading and speculating, I have located the seal and the sigil of the minion something, one of the lesser powers. On that last crossing to the towers, the powers Gagel, well, somehow someone heeded my call to guide Belial and I through the labyrinth, void, misleading the something as we traveled. Eventually, we happened upon the chamber of the Soul Stone within the realm of Sheol. Our order now stands upon the threshold of the threshold of the first of great days. The first shand is not a word. The first shand of the stone is now prepared. We are preparing for the next crossing. The stars are aligned and the portents are favorable. For the greater cause of the powers, we walk to the towers. For the first time, we walk without the fear of something. I can't read that, which annoys me because I think it's significant. Generally, I find the font to be rather hard to read. And the fact that I cannot enlarge it makes it even more difficult. Okay, Claude Florentine, entry of the morning of 25th of January, 1330. Written in a cottage, apparently. All went as planned initially with the Chamber of the Soulstone, but first seal upon the first shard was broken upon the word. What? Was broken upon the word and powers. The very fires of hell rose and welled, all in something. Belial was by my side with the sword in an instant to protect me from harm, but regretfully I passed out in the heat. When I awoke, I was on the grass beside the smoldering remains of the temple. As fortune would have it, the fire did not spread to my priestly shack by the river, and so all of my most important papers still survive. What puzzles me, though, is how Belial managed to escape from the fire and the something when 50 acolytes and priests perished in the resulting inferno. Well, I think it might have something to do with the name Belial. Like, it seems to imply that he's a demon. So, you know. And Claude Florentine, entry of the morning of 26th of January. A cottage. Have I made a terrible mistake? By taking the sword from the Soulstone, have I inadvertently set in motion a series of events which I may be unable to halt? Is the sword in some way connected to the Soulstone? Belial cannot touch the thing at all for some reason. Okay, that seems very significant, and I should probably remember that, because something tells me that this Belial person might actually show up. It burdens me to touch it now, so much that I have decided to place it in a place of safekeeping. My immediate plans for the future are unclear for the moment, but through my contacts, one fact is clear. The first shand and the seal are unmade, and the cause of the temple must continue. Belial has promised me acolytes from Europe who would be willing to travel to aid in the rebuilding of the temple. A rebuilding of the temple. What? Something owed, probably. I dare not speculate. Favors owed? Maybe? Favors owed, probably. I dare not speculate. Just an empty... Oh, okay. It's not an empty page. It's an entry from the morning of 29th of January. The sword has disappeared from the safe place in the cottage. I immediately suspected Belial, but then realized my mistake. Last when he was restless as a newborn foal and sat cowering in the study, he blamed his uneasiness on the absence of the sword. I am beginning to believe him now. The thief will be caught. Caught and dealt with, mark my words. Okay, so Belial is afraid of this sword, which again seems like very useful and potentially important information. Okay, entry of the morning of 15th of March. York Library. The tower is as useful as it is dangerous. Once this was not the case, but I am one of the few who have traveled there and have been to the other realms in pursuit of the Order's goals and lived. I can say with sincerity that the crossings are fraught with all kinds of hidden dangers, even with minions to guide the something. I still cannot read that. The something is constantly present within the tower, whether distant or near. Its unnerving ability to hunt and devour those who come to this place is astounding. I refer to the manuscript that I have sent from France concerning the something of a magician from the last century. There is no mention of any gardeners as one of the towers past something. The manuscript is only a fragment of a much larger body. At first, the dark and within, I heard the laughter of the souls of the something. It came once more upon me like a storm, changed with rage and gibbous song, hypnotizing and calling for sweet perdition. I ran, for I knew the tales of this forgotten place. I ran and stumbled upon a cracked cave of the towers, but it was always there, here and beyond, there and always. In fact, looming from the shadowy depths. From whence and where did this thing come? I knew I fell upon cold stone, the face of death smiling down. Okay, another entry from the cottage, from the evening of 13th of January, 1420 AD. So it's almost 100 years later? Okay, interesting. I fear the fire that has ravaged this place when the second shant and seal were broken was from the same source as 74 years ago. Dim the light and burn it from this place. If we are to lose more acolytes and severely deplete our monetary reserves to rebuild the temple each time this occurs, then we must postpone our endeavors for a while until the problem can be solved. Belial, again, saving my life from the fire, has whispered to me of an otherworldly device that might help the order, but its location and power is shielded from him. We are therefore currently making the necessary plans to travel to Plymouth, and there pay for passage on some merchant ship to To where? What? I don't think it says Israel. Like, it wouldn't make much sense. Like, because they are, although it all doesn't make much sense to me, because we are currently in England, right? So I presume the temple is here. This is the place that they've been rebuilding all of those times. But Plymouth is in the States, right? That's where the Pilgrims landed famously first. Plymouth Rock. So I don't understand where the person that has written this letter is, and I don't really understand where they are traveling. Like, I cannot merchant ship to somewhere. The threat from our old Templar order, there does not bother me as much now that its existence is speculative. If we make something in good time, I hope for us to meet there with the minions. Gagel, Rekes, and someone, and bargain with them for their aid in the search. They are adept at seeking out the impossible and locating what is hidden. Hopefully, our little setbacks will be solved for good. We'll make the journey south on the morrow. Okay, so entry from the evening of 7th of November, 1490. So again, 60 years from the previous entry. Merchant ship Osprey, bound for England. We are currently sailing off the southern point of the southern point of Bornholm in the Baltic, and if favorable winds prevail, we will dock at Southampton at 14th of this month. Our trek through Europe has not only proved successful in respect to the fires, but we also have been able to recruit to our orders new members, some of them distinguished and rich. They have instructions as to where to meet us within England in the new year. I look forward to their arrival. While in Madrid, I took the opportunity to call upon an old friend who was able to disclose the secrets of the tower from an old manuscript that he had saved from the library before the Inquisition could impose themselves. As I sit here in this salt-stinking cabin, I cannot help but wonder about what Thomas had said to me so long ago, given what this scroll discloses. Okay, again, in about a 40-year gap. Entry on the 19th of June, 1521, the Temple of the Morning Star. The great powers of the Shans have appeared to us, thankfully, through Abaddon's reasons. Though Abaddon's reasons are his own, he has divulged the secrets of the Shans and Seals within the chamber of the Soulstone. It is holding something back, I know it. I have confidence in the powers yet. Something disturbs Belial, though, again. He is silent. No matter how much I think I know him, I am forever abated in my belief that he's... I am forever abated in my belief by his petty shows of secrecy. Speaking unto him, we have agreed that it might be for the best this time if the two of us do not cross paths. Belial is more than convinced of this. Of the tower, Abaddon has revealed much. The name Riziel has appeared in the conversation, and the powers appear to have place and dominion within the spiritual realm of Rakfia for some reason. Abaddon has informed us that Riziel is a neutral power like himself, with the agency of imprisonment and freedom unto those that transgress certain laws. I must speak with the powers, with that power called Riziel in some future point, but a device for passage into Rakfia, his realm, is beyond my sight. Abaddon will disclose the sites and locations of these and all of the other devices, but I feel the cost of bargaining will be high. I fear I must agree to its terms all the same. The Egyptian mask and the other devices I have kept secure from the others. With this act, I can be sure that only I may thread the paths of the tower, unless permission is called personally by others. Okay, that was very long and difficult to read at times. Like, technically difficult. However, I feel like it has given me a lot of information that's potentially useful. First of all, this cult has been operating at least since the Middle Ages. Second of all, they seem to have devised a way for people to become immortal, because this Florentine guy has been living for hundreds and hundreds of years. Thirdly, there's this guy Belial, who's possibly a demon and fireproof, and there is a sword that he's afraid of, which seems important. Let's discuss this. Discuss the gardeners.
I wonder if the gardener that Florentine mentions in the journal is Raphael. Or is it one of the others? Raphael did say he was the last. That means that there must have been more at some point in the past.
If it is, it means that he's been around as long as Florentine has.
Evidently, the gardener that Florentine mentions in his journal is Raphael. Anything else in the journal to support that?
On return from the tower, Belial told Florentine that the gardeners had returned, and that they were responsible for the deaths of the demons guarding the gates.
It would seem that Raphael did have some friends. The One Power. The journal mentions the One Power. He's talking about God?
The opposite. Florentine makes a reference in his journal to the One Power when a temple member goes mad, and Florentine threatens to use him as some sort of sacrifice.
So they sacrificed their members then. Nice way to do business. This temple business. Anything in the journal? Anything I've missed?
Seems to be some sort of religious order. According to the journal, there were more than just acolytes working for Florentine. It mentions powers, dark powers.
Okay, they didn't really add anything particularly fascinating.
Nicely worked silver key.
However, it was still worth reading that.
Someone likes to use the old method.
Expensive too. Golden nib.
Quill and ink. Someone likes to use the old method.
Expensive too. Golden nib.
Okay, but it was worth reading that. However, I will try progressing further next time, because this episode has been long enough. In fact, it has been a little too long. I just didn't want to pause in the middle of the journal. So that's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.